Welcome. You've splash landed into this Prosecco-laden podcast, straight into the woo-woo pool with the crew of Ohm-g. We're just a simple group of tragically imperfect and highly empathic BFFs, exploring a wide range of atypical topics with humor, grace, and curiosity. This is Ohm-g. Welcome, everybody. We are so glad you could join us today. We're going to do a little talking with Carrie and Carly, and we're going to talk about some combo as well as some plant medicine. Thanks for being here with the crew of
Ohm-g, the podcast. So welcome back, folks. We had Carly Sink in our last 2 episodes regarding cacao, but she is here to talk to us today about plant medicine and combo. Combo?
Yeah.
Combo. Does it matter which way you say it?
I've heard it pronounced different ways.
Okay.
Here in the United States, I hear a lot of people spoke combo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Carly Sink is a yoga instructor, energy worker, and combo frog detox practitioner. She is an energetic individual with a deep passion for learning and expanding her knowledge of all things bioenergetic and nature-based. Carly completed her undergraduate studies at UNC Chapel Hill, majoring in exercise science and psychology. After experiencing severe health issues in her early 20s and a second revision spinal surgery in 2011, Carly started on her path to learn about the holistic healing and maintaining a harmonious relationship with the earth. This led her to the field of energy work, yogi,
Yoga,
and Cambo to assist in pain reduction and injury prevention. She has a clinical aromatherapy certification through East-West School of Herbal and Aromatic Studies, Reiki 1 and 2 certification, and a 200-hour yoga teacher certification in mind-body centering yoga through Global Breath Studio in Durham, North Carolina. She has taught vinyasa, restorative, and power flow for the last 6 years. In her spare time, she loves to get outside. Jab, cross, burnout. I don't even know what that is. Create crystal grids, cook, and spend time with her husband, Joel, and the puppy, Ziggy. I've met Ziggy. Ziggy's very sweet. So welcome to our podcast, Carly. And we are so excited to talk to you about all the things that you work with in the plant and animal kingdom.
Absolutely.
So tell us about your experience and what brought you into working with these things.
Sure. Well, yeah, I feel like that's probably the number one question I get as I was talking with y'all before we started. It's like, how did you get into this? I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi. I grew up in Yadkin County, North Carolina, most of my life. And, grew up pretty traditional. But along the way, when I was very young, actually at the age of 13, I was diagnosed with severe scoliosis, crippling scoliosis, actually. I had 9 vertebrae fused and 2 12-inch titanium rods or metal rods put on my spine. So I was, about 12 inches of my spine is fused. And at that age, it set me up for tremendous mental, physical, emotional, all the things that you could imagine at that age, body dysmorphia and just severe chronic pain. So, I was able to manage, went to college, and still had a lot of just spine pain. I could not find ways to get that back pain down. And in my after college, I started working. I wanted to go to physical therapy school. I've always been very active, even through honestly having the rods. That's what led me to yoga, is because it helped get some of the myofascial pain down. When I was
there was
school.
a lot of scar tissue built up as well.
Yeah, for sure. And
do the rods in any way impact how you go through movements in yoga?
Yeah, they were very restrictive. But my body began rejecting, in my mid-20s, my body began rejecting the metal. So my spine, they began pushing their way off my spine. So it caused a lot of nerve pain, started passing out a lot. I had a lot of just shooting pains in my hands and my feet because of all the nerve damage. So they went in, took the rods out, thankfully, and I truly felt like I'd been given a second lease on life. It was like for the first time in years, I felt like my pain was down a good bit just from having the metal taken out. After that, I really started on the holistic health path because I could not take painkillers. Like, I mean, they made me so sick. And so that led me into learning about herbal medicine and aromatherapy. And I've always had this like deep connection with plants. I'm a nature girl. I'm always barefoot outside growing up. I grew up on a farm. So just always really connected with nature. And I started working at this integrative health clinic in actually sales for a couple very high tech, but what are called bioenergetic devices, a couple Nest Health, as well as what's called the Theragym. It did some heart rate variability. And so being in sales, I got to learn a lot about the science of the energy body and how energy moves throughout our system. So kind of bridging a little bit of the science into looking at the meridian system or the chakra system or things like that. And while I was there, I just had a lot of time to do reading and research. And one of my friends became a mentor to me in the Andean tradition, which is from Peru. Her name is Joan Wilcox. She's local, but she has a very large online following. A lot of people around the world train with her and learn. I became her assistant. And for a couple of years, actually helped her with these trainings. So I got very immersed in the Andean culture, and little did I know how connected I would become to it. And so I heard about ayahuasca and kambo and all of these medicines kind of on the side when I would go to these trainings. All of the groups, a lot of people that had participated and were at these trainings had worked with these medicines. And I was so called to work with ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a hallucinogenic tea that is drank in ceremony. It's from the Amazon, South America. And I think about 6 years ago was my first time sitting with ayahuasca. My husband and I found a community. This was actually up in Michigan. It was my first time working. And so since I've sat with ayahuasca, but I think 6 or 7 times, but I received kambo, which is is the frog medicine that I serve. I received kambo at the end of an ayahuasca ceremony. And when I received, I know, right? It is. The ayahuasca ceremony is like 8 hours, and then you're like, here's some kambo.
Then they placed fire ants all over my body. Go on.
But I'm one of those people. I love exploring it, and frogs have always come to me. And there was as I was telling some people before we started, as a kid, I'm from Mississippi, and we had these Mississippi bullfrogs, and there's this picture of me as this 5-year-old just like fearlessly holding this probably like 5 or 6 pound toad. Like, it's huge. And so frogs have always come to me. So when I received kambo the first time, and I'll explain. So kambo is on the secretion off the back of a frog from the Amazon. And when I received kambo for the first time, that you burn they're called gates, but they're holes on your skin, and the secretion is applied to your skin. And before the secretion is applied, you do this in a fasted state. You drink a good bit of water so that you have something to purge, because it is a powerful, powerful purgative. And so after I received kambo the first time, most people have an upward vomiting purge. I, to this day, still don't have a big upward purge. And I think it's because personally of my low vagal tone, my vagus, just because of the scar tissue that I have. So sometimes I can work with my gag reflex and get a little bit of a purge. But kambo for me, the first time I received it, it was almost like this light came over me, and I felt this deep sense of ease and peace in my body that I don't know that I had ever felt since my first surgery when I was 14. And so it's a very powerful opiate. They say that it's hundreds of times more powerful than morphine as a natural opiate, helping with pain receptors. And you're obviously not really going to have the side effect of necessarily getting addicted. There's a pretty big process you have to go through with kambo to, receive the medicine, and you're going through a level of intensity during the purging for it. So I guess that's kind of how I met Combo for the first time. And then it was from there that after I received that, I sat with Combo, I think 5 or 6 more times before I actually decided to go sit and receive a certification with Combo Frog Detox down in Florida. So they're a group that work with the different tribes to bring combos safely and ethically to the United States. And then I brought it back here. And at first I thought I was just going to serve myself, but then I kept getting the call like, no, like you have to offer this to the community. And thankfully it is legal. It's not psychoactive. So there are no psychedelic effects to it. And there are 2 other medicines that are also served within the combo ceremony. It's Sananga and Hape are 2 other medicines. The Sananga is an eye drop medicine. And so the eye drops are from the milkwood tree or shrub down in South America. And Sananga Sananga and Hape can be worked with outside of a combo ceremony. And some people only serve combo. Like you're going to find that different tribes serve different ways. I mean, this goes with many different types of plant medicines. We bring it here, and then it kind of evolves into each person's going to have their own little flavor. But the way that I was trained is we've served Sananga, Hape, and then combo. And so Sananga is eye drops that they are not psychedelic, but I have personally had some very out-of-body experiences with them sometimes when they're very intense. So with the Sananga, I put a drop on the inside of each eye, and then you open up your eyes, and it burns like nothing you have ever experienced in your life. It's like putting hot chili peppers in your eyes for about 3 to 5 minutes. And
It's intense.
And it is very intense. But the benefits of Sananga, and you have to think about the eyes. The eyes mirror every organ in the body. And so when you put anything in the eyes, that the eyes are receiving that information. And so Sananga is detoxifying. The eyes also connect them with the liver meridian. So it helps clear old anger or repressed emotions. So a lot of people scream when they receive Sananga. The first time I've had a lot of people beat the ground or they're sit up and rock. And it's almost like this somatic, like it's something that's been locked down in your nervous system that you haven't been able to get out. People just come up and they're, they shake. And I mean, there's all different kinds of effects that the Sananga can have. But I think it's unlocking old cellular memory that just needs to be cleared. Because after your Sananga session, you feel like a million bucks. Your nervous system is so calm. I'd love for y'all to share your Sananga experiences.
So whenever I received it the first time, this is Brenda, I just started crying. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was so deep, like old, ancient grief. And I had one of he told me he was an ancestor. He was from Ireland, and he was during the potato famine. And so one thing that I was really working on was my feeling of lack. And so he had gone through that lifetime. So it was an ancestral, old wounding that was coming up. But he had felt like a failure because he couldn't feed his family and they were starving. And so I was able to let that go during that ceremony. And it takes time to integrate it, I think, completely. But that was really amazing to see that and see where that comes from.
Yeah.
And to be able to heal that old wound. So how's that for you, Carrie?
Yeah. So for me, I've sat with it multiple times and I love it. It does burn like the fire. But it's so good.
It is.
So you're really selling it to me.
I said, you're going, where do I sign up?
It's so good.
It's temporary though. It's such a short experience. So I've had multiple types of experiences. I have, I think in my most recent experience with sitting with Sananga, did I cry? That was the first time I cried. And it was just a deep cry. And I was purging a lot of grief. But prior to that, I did have like the screaming, the anger, and I didn't feel angry. It was just these feelings coming out. And if I had to name them, I would name them as old anger and just like slamming my arms against the ground. And there's just such an amazing somatic release that you just feel so peaceful afterwards. It's hard to compare it to anything else,
Yeah.
the kind of peace and calm that comes over your body. It definitely feels like a nervous system reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I-
And it opens up, it opens up your third eye and your upper chakras. So that can really, a lot of people, just on the physical level, it is it's good for bacteria in the eyes or viral issues, styes, things like that. But energetically, it does open those upper chakras so you can have better insight. And a lot of people report better vision after working with Sananga. And you can work with Sananga. There's something, some people do like a 21-day dieta, which is basically sitting with the medicine for 21 days straight. And then you take a break for a while. But it brings tremendous healing to the eyes. So you just want to make sure you have a fresh batch and that it's you keep yours in your refrigerator and that you're getting it from a good reputable source.
I really love how you describe these things as sitting with this. It sounds more like a partnership working towards a divine good than, oh, I took this medicine and it did this for me.
Yeah.
I just wanted
I'm
to throw
very
that in there.
grateful. Well, I shouldn't say corrected necessarily, but my friend Joan, my teacher, it's always you work with them. So this is a commensal relationship. So you're working with a plant spirit. This is not you're not using Sananga. You are working with Sananga. You are working with ayahuasca, or they are working you. You know, like really, like these are powerful teachers.
It's less of a take and more of a give.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like, what messages can you receive from these plants? And then it honors their spirits along the way. And I communicate with them. And I call on combo. I call on Sananga. I call on the medicines. If I don't have them present, I can call on them and tap into that vibration. I'm like, okay, this is going to strengthen me. This is going to help me with some insight about this particular thing that I have going on. And you can just, it's everything in the universe is energy. We can connect to it. This is our little pineal gland is our radio receiver. We just tap into the frequency.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily have to have it present.
You said there was a second medicine that you did in the combo ceremony?
Yeah, it's hape. It's hape or rape is sacred tobacco, and it's a snuff. So I brought my tepi. So I placed the powder in the end of this, and the hape tobacco is very grounding. I think it's ironic that we live in like the land of tobacco here, because tobacco has always been a medicine for me. And I have to say that in my mid-20s, I very severely abused it. I smoked. But I'm sure that it was helping me with some of my mental health issues. And nicotine can be very balancing at times. So now that I know a little bit more and understand some of the pathways, I'm sure I'm working with it as a coping mechanism for a lot of the pain and just mania that I felt from the tremendous pain. It was a grounding mechanism for me at the time, but it was obviously terrible in my lungs. I smoked American Spirits, so I was, American Spirits. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But yes. So tobacco is more of as Carrie was talking about cacao being a grandmother medicine. Tobacco is more of a grandfather medicine. So it's going to have a little bit more masculine energy. It's very grounding. It's very protective. It can clear negative energy, negative entities. I've had some tobacco can be very purgative. I'd say 1 in 10, 1 in 15 will vomit from hape. It's clearing out, especially if you've never had any kind of nicotine before. It can be very purgative. But for a lot of people, so I blow it up one nostril, then we move and I blow it up the other nostril. It's this powder, ground up tobacco with other types of herbs. And so it goes in and it offers like a brainwave balancing. Carrie has a good description of it. Like it's like you jump into a pool of chlorine. It's like getting chlorine up your nose. So it's like it's a little stingy. But the after effects are really tremendous euphoria. Some people, like I had some clients yesterday that they were like, man, I feel kind of high from this. I was like, well, yeah, you feel good.
Just go with it.
Yeah, just go with it. You're all right. You're here, you're present. So it's this interesting feeling of being grounded in your body, but there's this like lightness. It's like the clouds lift, basically. And so it clears out that energetic space. And so hape is a very powerful for meditation. And it's worked within a lot of different ceremonies. I've received my first hape during an ayahuasca ceremony. And then that leads us on to combo.
Before we go in and start
Yeah.
talking about like that, let's just take a quick break and go grab your favorite beverage or a cup of cacao and come back and join us in a few minutes.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold! Give
it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
All right, welcome back, guys. So we were about ready to start talking about Cambo or combo. I want to call it Cambo.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you want to take it off from?
Yeah.
Carly?
Well, I can just tell you like some of the physical benefits of it and what people come to me for, basically. Like, why would somebody come
Right.
to, put themselves through So combo is the kind of a warrior medicine. It's a very strengthening medicine. So it is powerfully antiviral for colds, flus, bacteria. It's antibacterial. I've seen a lot of people with mycotoxin exposure, so mold, Lyme disease. And obviously, I'm not claiming to treat any of it. It's supportive in your immune system. It's I found the medicine a very powerful opiate, so it helped my pain. But it also is excellent for PTSD. So a lot of people with depression and anxiety that can't seem to quite move that stagnant energy. So I'm going to go on the energetic side of things right now. If you think about the energy of a frog, the frog is all about leaping. It's leaping forward. It's a jumping point. And so combo really truly helps you shift whatever stagnant energy is in your body. Combo is going to go in, it's going to blow it out because it is an intelligent medicine. So when I apply the combo, and so as I think I mentioned earlier about the gates that are burned on your skin and you receive the combo, it goes in, you can actually feel the medicine go into your lymphatic system and start to move throughout your body. So sometimes, like one of the most notable times I ever had is that I was focusing on some sacral chakra and root chakra healing. And I felt the combo go right to my womb. And it was like in my ovary. I felt it there. I mean, I applied it to my shoulder, but I felt it right there. And it was just like this beautiful heat and just warmth of like clearing out that stagnant energy. Other times it goes right to my gut. And it does cause that very strong purgative effect. But it is, and I was talking to the women before the podcast, that I think combo activates part of the vagus system, the vagus nerve, and it's clearing out the chakra. So it actually gets that nerve going, and it's kind of like almost wringing out the chakra system and moving that stagnant energy, whether it's an old trauma or old toxins or all the layers of the body. So I would love for y'all to share your experiences with combo, if you don't mind, or if y'all have questions. Yeah.
Yeah, so Carrie here, I've worked with it several times and it is a different experience each time, but something occurs with me that I don't think is typical for all patrons of the combo is that I often go into what Carly would call a frog sleep. And so I have experienced that light that Carly mentioned there. So for me, I'm passing out, but I go somewhere. I go to this space where it's pure white light. This is the similar occurrence each time. I go to a space where it's pure white light and people are speaking to me. And it feels like on a physical level, my nervous system is being reset and reworked. And I feel like when I'm in that space, I have knowledge of everything. And then I come back And I know I have the knowledge of everything, but I can't remember it or articulate it to you, which I've heard is similar with people being in ayahuasca ceremonies where they feel like they've discovered all the secrets of the universe and they're making mental notes, but then when they come back, they may not be able to fully articulate that back out in a language that we can work with. So I've had the frog sleeps, which can be a little bit disconcerting, but Carly is such an amazing space holder that I always feel safe with her. She is like the best practical physical nurse and energetic nurse supporter possible. So I feel safe even going into those realms. And then other times I have had like this great purge where, and it is a purge. The difference is you're not vomiting, you're purging. So it's like all those toxins just get dumped into the water that you've ingested and then it just gets set free. And it feels very different. And you feel very, very energized. And then yet another like somatic release afterward. I've had some tremendous breakthroughs in healing from working with Combo, just helping me let go of old things. Additionally, I think because I have had kind of some autoimmune issues, I believe that that's one of the reasons why I have the reset, the frog sleep, because I feel like it's really trying to clean my system out and get that gone, that Epstein-Barr virus that I have that's dormant in my body. So that's been great. And then with the Hape, it's not supposed to be psychedelic or psychoactive, but wow. I work with Hape. I feel like this must be what heaven is like. It's such a place. And it's so super grounding, and you're not supposed to really like see anything, but of course.
Well, you're so open, you're just like a channel.
Jungle beings like peeking out from behind trees looking at me. They're like, oh my God, like, who's that? I'm like, oh, hey. And we're just like having this interaction with each other, like, what are you? Who are you? And they're looking back at me with the same questions. So, yeah, beautiful experiences. I highly recommend all of them.
Yeah. And the plants are not required during a combo ceremony, but they, I think that and all of these are tools. They're not all necessary, or not each person is called.
This is Chandra. That was one of the questions I had was there a particular reason or rationale why you used those three together and did them in that order?
But that was just the way I was trained. I mean, I'm trying to honor that. I mean, earlier with the, Hape can be worked with in meditation, or I've, in the middle of a 21-day dieta with Sananga, where it's 21 days. So every morning, I forgot the last few days. So I was telling Kira and Louie, I got to get back on the train. But it was 21-day reset with Sananga. So they can be worked with individually. When I was trained, that's how I learned it. And I find that they work really well together. I think it's a good offering. And, the clearing out before the combo, or the calming of your nervous system before the combo.
It sounds like that it's kind of like a journey, starting with the eyes and the gut, and then it's just kind of like like a journey.
It is a journey for sure. And combo will definitely show you so many things about yourself. It may go to one place, you have pain in one area, but then all of a sudden combo brings heat and awareness to another, and you're like, oh, maybe it's referral pain. And over here, it's just an intelligent medicine. It just goes in and just kind of knows where to go. It's like the frog comes on you and just knows where you need help. So what was your experience, Brenda?
Well, you were there.
I know. I know, but I was prompting you for your question.
Yeah, so I was really feeling called to work with this medicine as well. And I kept getting signs, all this frog stuff would pop up. And I was like, no, I'm scared.
It is. Yeah. And she was, I remember.
Yeah.
It's intense.
It is very intense. And I think for me, I had the second one that we did was super intense.
Yeah.
You get something called the frog face. And I thought, oh, it'll, like the first time it happened, it was gone pretty much by the end of the day. But the second time was super intense, and I was purging a lot of things. I think a lot of old grief was coming out. And I had frog face all weekend long.
Yeah.
I couldn't go
That was
anywhere.
a very
I was
rare
like,
occasion.
somebody is going to think I've been in like a bar fight.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it was integrating what was happening that maybe wasn't as tangible as your experiences. I think it was deeper inside of me and probably older stuff. But I feel like it helped me to fully step into myself.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, it has processed over time because it was when did we do it? Was it during the summer? Yeah, during the summer. And I feel like it has made me more able to speak for myself, if that makes sense. Like to step into my power to be able to speak up for myself and for my needs instead of playing small or being small in my relationships around me. So I think that's one way that I have really noticed that it's helped.
That's wonderful. Well, and they say it's a warrior medicine. So I should talk a little bit about how the tribes work with it. So in the Amazon, they'll work with combo before they go hunting because it amplifies all your senses. So I find, and the cool thing about animal medicine, so plants work very much with the emotional body and the mental body. But the animals, like you kind of take on the senses. So like your hearing is amplified, your sense of smell is amplified, your taste. So everything tastes so crisp. Like it almost gives you this extra sensory perception for a little while because it's an animal spirit. So you're, connected. And thankfully the frogs are not harmed in the harvesting process or if they're sustainably gathering the frog secretion, and the secretion comes on and it's put on what's a combo stick. The legend is that, hundreds of years ago, there was a plague in the Amazon and they could not figure out how to heal their people. And so a shaman went and worked with ayahuasca, and the ayahuasca during this shaman's psychedelic journey, ayahuasca told him, go find this frog. And ayahuasca taught him how to apply combo, and he went back and healed his village. And then from then on, it was passed down, and they apply it to the babies and the dogs. And I mean, for them, it's like a part of their just medicine cabinet. I mean, it really has such a wide array of healing benefits. So each peptide has a different therapy. It's like nature's medicine cabinet.
So can you microdose this as well instead of doing like a full-on ceremony? Have you ever worked with microdosing?
Yes, for sure. I was going to say, Carrie's laughing. She's received a microdose, but for her, it was like a full dose. I mean, it's just so sensitive. Yeah.
I have to receive a microdose.
Yeah. I mean, I can do 1 or 2 dots. Easy. I mean, I've done that for myself. I say very frequently. I don't work with it as much as I did in the beginning, but when I was kind of trying to do some spine healing. But, if I feel like a cold or flu coming on or something like that, I'll do a dot or 2 just to boost my immune system, clear out my sinuses. I mean, there's lots of different ways you can work with it. So
I would say that Carly's version of microdosing is not the same as all other beings. And like, if you're envisioning microdosing mushrooms and comparing that to microdosing combo,
it's different.
It's different.
Oh, you'll still feel it for sure.
It's not different for Carly necessarily, but she is like the epitome of the combo warrior because she sat with it so much and it's really, really, really her medicine.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I microdose it, I'm going to have the full effect.
All right, let's take a quick break.
We're back from the break. A couple other things that people would possibly come to see me for. A lot of people that have digestive issues. So that's another thing that I noticed dramatic healing in with some of my gut stuff because of all the spinal nerve damage. I was chronically constipated and basically had to take herbal laxatives on and off for the last, 15 years of my life. But combo really, it has a lot of digestive stimulation peptides that help healing in that area. Also, fertility issues. Some people, it helps with getting, and obviously you would never work with combo if you're pregnant or expected to possibly be pregnant. Have an extensive questionnaire that I send to people, but it really can help bring blood flow back to certain areas of your body that for hormones. So hormonal balancing is another reason that people may come in. Autoimmune, as Carrie mentioned, some autoimmune stuff. It's excellent for that. Blood sugar regulation, and also addictions. I have it really is great for different types of addictions. I have a lot of people that may lose their taste for coffee or cigarettes or things like that because it's very, very detoxifying for the body. So not only is it energetically detoxifying, you are having a huge push of the liver and gallbladder. And so whenever that vomit, whenever that purge, that water comes out that you drank pre-ceremony, often there's a lot of bile or different toxins in it. Each there's a whole reading of the purge and what color it is. And it's going to look a little bit different for everyone. And also, another thing that I've had great results with skin disorders. So people that have candida issues like skin, histamine, rashes, psoriasis. Yeah, excellent for skin problems as well. So because if you think about the skin is it connects in with your digestive system and your liver. And so through cleaning up the internal, the external is going to manifest that. And it's going to help things. So
has anyone ever come to you specifically for eczema or that kind of skin issue?
The one person that did, there was also some emotional stuff underlying the eczema. So I think working on that is what helped. But I mean, it's there because, you can try every diet under the sun. And if it's not clearing something up, you kind of look at that higher node. It could be more energetic.
Mm-hmm.
So
what kind of healing benefits have you seen, specifically with clients, how it's helped them in their life?
Yeah, I would say that the majority of people just say I feel this sense of deep strength, this courage. If they feel like there's this fog, it helps with brain fog. So a lot more mental clarity and drive. Just feeling that empowerment in the solar plexus. And if you think about the purging, I mean, that is bringing out your solar plexus chakra and it's activating that area for you. So empowering the mental clarity, I mentioned the skin stuff. Let's see what else.
We have a dog issue right now.
The little dogs are going to losing my train of thought.
They want it to be in the middle of everything.
That's apparently right. And also old ruminating thoughts are attachments. So things that you may feel why can I just not let this situation go?
Mm-hmm.
That is something that is more subtle. But I do feel somehow combo works with helping you clear some of that old energetic attachments or cords or whatever you want to call that. We all have different interpretations for what we call attachments.
Right.
But it can really help clear some of that out too. So, and it's all very much intention. So speaking your intention before ceremony, what would you like to, it's that commensal relationship, right? So I always have people speak their intention and I talk to combo while I'm serving and connect. And it's thank you, combo. Thank you for your healing. Thank you for what you're bringing to this situation. So.
How long does a ceremony typically take?
Mine, it depends. If somebody's been before, if they can be a little bit quicker, but usually the first time is 2 to 2.5 hours is the full ceremony, but the combo part is relatively short, 20, 30 minutes. And you're going to peak after, 8 to 10 minutes. It's not hours long, like some of the psychedelic ceremonies that you hear. What's nice about combo is that you're in and out. You're in it and you're in it. And then you're out and you're done and you feel great.
Foot reflexology, in a sense that sometimes it's so painful.
Oh, yeah.
Spots. But the moment it stopped, no one's touching it, you're like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
If they touch it again, you're like, dear, please stop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's just, you may have a residual, if somebody has a big, especially if there's an emotion, I think Brenda had a deeply emotional one. If there's an emotional unlocking, that's where you can feel kind of tired the rest of the day or kind of almost hungover. But most people feel pretty energized afterwards. Energized, or I should say light afterwards. You may actually, some people may want to go home and nap, which is fine, but that's good. It's like your body is saying, hey, I want to get some sleep and get some rest.
Yeah, the first time I felt really energized and very grounded and like calm. And that lasted for several days where I was in that calm state. And the second time, which was the doozy, I wanted to come home and just get in the bed, which is what I did. I laid in the bed for the rest of the afternoon and pretty much for the whole weekend.
Healing time.
It was healing time.
So this is Chandra, Brenda talking. She had a couple ceremonies. So do you usually recommend numerous ceremonies for somebody? Does it depend on kind of like what they're trying to accomplish with the medicine? Like why would one person need 2 or 3 and another person maybe only need 1?
A lot of people, the first time they kind of like dip your toe in the medicine, there's something called the warrior cleanse, or it's basically 3 within a 28-day, within a moon cycle. That like gets to the deeper layers of the body. You're working with the cycles of the moon. That's not required at all. I mean, I've had plenty of people that have come in and they just want 1 session and that's fine. And they receive tremendous benefit from it. So it kind of varies for each person. I do have some frequent flyers that, come a few times a year, which is wonderful. There's their spring cleaning and their fall cleaning. And so that's kind of how they've set it up. I guess just energetically, people feel called. And a lot of people just say, frogs keep coming to me. I think it's time for combo. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, you're getting the messages and now it's time to sit with the medicine. So
that was how I felt with it, that it was time to do that. Can you both share with us what it is that you offer individually if somebody is here in the Piedmont Triad of North Carolina, and the best way to contact you, which we will also be listing everything in the show notes, but whoever wants to go first with the wonderful things that you offer.
So obviously offer the combo, but it's my day job. Not really. But I started out with just offering what I call vibrational healing, because it's a combination of Reiki and some of the Andean practices, energy work practices. It's like body work, so deep energy work with tuning forks. I also have a couple of really, really amazing, powerful light therapy devices. I'm a really big believer in light therapy because we are basically biophotons. And so I have something called the Theragen, which is a crystal light therapy device that I can program at anywhere from 0 to 20,000 hertz. And I put gemstones in this gem cup holder, and it sends this powerful light through the gemstones, and it basically bathes your auric field with gemstone energy. And then I also have a really large LED, it's called platinum LED light therapy bed. It's about a 6-foot red light therapy bed. So I have a place in Winston that I offer these services. And then at home is where I offer my ceremony work. And then Carrie and I know this was talked about on the previous podcast, but we offer courses and classes that you can attend, a monthly cacao ceremony at Aware Hot Yoga if you're in the area. I also teach hot yoga, so I do a lot of different things. I just try to meet people where they are in their comfort level and see how I can guide them. So, and my Instagram is High Frequency Healing, and that's HI Frequency Healing. So, yeah.
Nice. Carrie, how about you?
I also offer plant medicine ceremony in that I offer cacao ceremonies, both for groups and individuals. I have a variety of combinations that can happen. We can do couples cacao ceremonies, which is really beautiful for connecting on a new level. People have done it for birthdays or anniversaries, things like that as couples. I also do individual cacao ceremonies that can be cacao by itself or cacao and energy healing, which has been very powerful because, again, as we were speaking before, you're opening up that pathway and then just allowing more healing to occur. So I love doing that. And then I do one-on-one, what I call energy healing sessions. I do have Reiki training, but I have morphed that into using many modalities I am a really big believer in sound and sound healing. And I find more and more that I use a lot of toning in my energy healing sessions, as well as light language. Light language is almost always involved in the healing ceremonies. And I just find that it's deeply resonant with people, and they describe it as feeling familiar and comforting. And also, I think it helps to open up the energy body to allowing a deeper healing to occur. So we do that. And then, like Carly was saying, our once a month cacao ceremonies at Aware. Also, am beginning to offer a cacao ceremony in Greensboro at Find Your Flow Fitness and Wellness Studio. And we create workshops as well. We mentioned that Star Fam NC, that is a community that we're building. And so in addition to the once a month free Reiki and meditation circle that we're offering just as a community gathering, we create workshops where we might want to delve in further beyond our Awaken series classes. So light language transmission and activation classes is like a workshop that I'll be offering this year. And we are talking about doing
a third eye. Yeah, third eye workshop. Like cleansing your third eye.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Doing kind of day workshops, like a half day sort of experience that is a little more focused and can be more immersive. So yeah, and then our intuition courses, that's just really important to me. I hope that I'll be launching an online intuition course later this year.
Awesome.
And then my Instagram is befreerooted.com or befreerooted.
Is your website befreerooted.com?
Yeah.
Yes. So we will include all of this information in the show notes.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much for having us. This was
it's
been
wonderful. It's been a fantastic day. I'm going to go out on a high. An energy high.
That's right.
Yep. So thank you, everybody, for listening and for joining us. And feel free to check out Carly and Carrie's offerings. And we hope to see you in a cacao ceremony. Cacao! Bye-bye, y'all.
See you next time. Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. Please follow and subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and leave a review. It's so easy to do and such a huge help for us. We appreciate your interactions so much. Want to join us at our table? Make sure to check out our YouTube channel and join our Facebook community. If you've enjoyed this content and wish to support us, take a look at our Patreon page. All information and links will be in our podcast description. Catch you next time.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM. Women's voices amplified.